Hi there, and welcome to another episode of Fantasy for the Ages, the show where father and son get together and talk about books like fantasy and sci-fi stuff, occasionally a little horror, and other nerdy things that we enjoy together. I'm Jim, the father of this. That guy over there is. Who are you?
It's me, I'm Zach. I'm Son.
Not locked away in a basement or under the stairs today, but instead coming at you to talk about a book he's read that I have not yet. So
Yeah,
this is a
I'm
book
not.
class spoiler-lite. Not going to ruin it, but he's definitely going to give us his reactions and feels to Golden Sun, book 2 of the Red Rising series. Tell us about it, Zach. What's the
Well,
deal with this
first
book?
I want to highlight how hard you thought about which direction to point there. It was very entertaining to me. No,
Yeah,
Golden Sun, second book in the Red Rising series. If you haven't seen my first little reaction on Red Rising, go check that out. Loved that book.
totally.
Let's move to Golden Sun. Loved this book. I do have to say I rated it a little lower than Red Rising, if only because Red Rising had a little bit of a surprise factor. I didn't quite know what I was getting into it, and I found I loved it so much. This time I knew what I was getting into. I'd
Okay.
grown a little bit more accustomed to the ideas of the world and where things might go. That's not to say I wasn't caught off guard, but rather we were dealing with more known quantities, and I expected it to be good. It just managed to deliver rather than
Nice.
surprising me by being good. In the past, I compared Red Rising to a number of other books, had elements of all these different things. Golden Sun still has a lot of the stuff Red Rising did, but now we expand a little further. We get more spacey sci-fi stuff going on. We get more exploration and visibility of the caste class social system and
Okay.
navigating that in weird ways. And we get more political intrigue and bigger effects therein, often a la George R.R. Martin.
Okay. So, a la George R. Martin, are you saying this is leaning in towards a little bit of grimdark?
I'm saying this leans into, I mean, people die, people get brutally attacked in different ways, or people are stabbed in the back, or the face, or the eye, or people get stabbed.
Stabbed, but this is a sci-fi thing. Don't they have like laser guns?
Oh, don't get me wrong, they've got various things, but they've also got a little bit more physicality than you might expect from a traditional sci-fi thing. There's an elegance to some of their weaponry that even harkens to this idea of a more sword-like fighting, like a lightsaber being more elegant and civilized weapon. It's also a very, very effective weapon. I'm not saying they have lightsabers, but there's similar concepts in their razors.
Okay. So the first book really leaned into Mars. Things
Yes.
mostly happened on Mars.
Yes.
This one, is Mars still involved?
This one, they leave Mars, they go further from Mars, they come back to Mars. Mars is an important part of the story, but most of the story doesn't take place on Mars.
Okay. All right. Better than the first book? You said you knew more what you're expecting, but do you feel it was better?
I can see why people would like this better. If you read the first one and you liked it, but you're not sure if like the way that it did chose its story was quite what you were looking for, read the second because it is something different. That being said, if you really, really loved the first, this will do something different. So like be cautious. It's hard for me to necessarily say better or worse on this one. Just that really it's still the same concept, the same story. It's a sequel that is great, but it's different. I am
Okay.
going to I'll stop sitting on the fence. I'll put my foot down. For most of the book, it's about the same. The final like chapter, this book's better than the previous one.
Ah, which implies it has a better ending.
More impactful, bigger. uh,
That's a good phrase.
Read
More
the book.
impactful.
Read the
Read the
book.
book. Read the book, people.
um,
I haven't read the book yet, but
you
it's
can
on the
read the.
list.
You can stop after the first one if you really choose to. If you read the second, though, you're not stopping. You're
Ah,
going on to the
which you
third.
did not. And so you'll have another episode coming out fairly soon on book 3. Okay, good enough. We'll stop there.
I think that's where I need to stop, or I'm gonna start spoiling things, and you don't
No
want that.
spoils. All right. Thanks for watching, everyone. Remember, give us your thoughts on this episode. Like it down below, please. Share your comments and look down in the show notes for the ways that you can interact with us. You can come talk to us on our Discord server or social media. And thank you to those of you who are Patreon supporters. If you want to know about Patreon, check us out. Just look for Fantasy for the Ages at patreon.com. That's it. We'll talk to you next time.